So, imagine if we all could have a very similar death to the death that most of our pets end up experiencing, being euthanized. Again, euthanasia is a process of where they just it's almost like an assisted suicide with just obviously the patient actually not really having any pain as they die. Again, euthanasia isn't something that is used very often within the world on humans. It's outlawed in most of the United States, with the exception of a few states, though there is a few countries that allow it within their whole country, Canada being one of them. Though Canada, compared to a lot of countries, doesn't have very similar regulations to the use of euthanasia, which has allowed for many people to question, should Canada abandon euthanasia? I think yes, due to all the lax regulations within Canada on euthanasia and the misuse and overuse of euthanasia within the country. Though this gets me to my first point, which is the lax regulations within Canada. It was found by Forbes that usually euthanasia is used when people are their disease will only worsen, or their death is foreseeable within the future and they just don't want to have to go through all the extra pain, obviously, with continuing on with their life. Though in Canada, this has been broadened now to people that aren't even terminally ill. It's actually been broadened to many people that have one disability or even just a mental illness, and they are allowing those people to decide if they want to be euthanized, and they're in talks right now to decide if they want minors to allow themselves to be euthanized, which I think is a bit insane. It's also interesting to look at obviously other countries that allow euthanasia within their country and look at Canada. It was found by AP News that the Netherlands and Belgium, who allow euthanasia within their country, have a monthly check of all of the euthanasia deaths, and they look through especially the troubling and interesting cases of euthanasia, though Canada does not do this at all. They only do a yearly check, and they really don't look at all of the troubling cases of euthanasia deaths, and they have a lot more euthanasia deaths compared to a lot of these other countries, so they aren't doing enough to make sure that obviously all these euthanasias should be allowed. It's gotten to the point where U.S. officials of human rights in the UN have made a statement against Canada saying that the complete disregard of euthanasia is a complete violation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This gets me to my next point, which is the misuse and overuse of the drug euthanasia. It was found by CBC that from 2016 to 2019, there was 13,649 deaths in Canada related to euthanasia, which is obviously right around when they started allowing euthanasia, though AP News found out within the past year, there's been over 10,000 euthanasia deaths alone in Canada. And that number is only climbing at an alarming rate due to how easy it is to get a euthanasia, to be allowed a euthanasia death within the country. Though this allows many people to question, so why doesn't the government do more to help their people? Well, actually, the government saves money when people decide to get euthanized. In Canada, obviously, they have free healthcare and a lot of care for their citizens, though euthanasia saved them about $149 million, and this was found out by Yahoo, and it's saved due to the fact that they don't have to keep caring for their citizens anymore because they decide to obviously die through euthanasia. And this can all be kind of attributed to the citizens' monetary problems, as it costs in Canada about $200 US to get 24/7 around the clock care with every day within the country. And if you're thinking about it, $200 a day, 365 days a year, you're getting close to over $70,000 of care within the country. So a lot of citizens choose to get euthanized, though their government should be helping them more so that they don't have to choose to not continue with their life. Though I think everyone should now understand, should Canada abandon euthanasia? I think yes, due to all the lax regulations within the country, and in general, the misuse and overuse of the drug euthanasia. And this had me thinking, if we are really not that similar to our pets, then why should we have the decision to die similarly to them as well?